And it was the craziest thing ever. This whole time I'm thinking of a master plan on how I'm going to get out. And he pulls a gun on me. Needless to say, that was the day it all ended with our relationship. I didn't die. I'm still here. But that was the beginning of a whole new world. And it wasn't a good world. Because now I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. Because I don't know what love is. So now I'm free at last, free at last. I hadn't been to the clubs. Now I'm going to the clubs. Now I'm meeting people. I'm thinking the first person that tells me I'm beautiful, they love me and they just want to get in my drawers. My self-esteem is about big as round as a penny. You know, you're looking for love in all the wrong places, but all you're doing is hurting yourself the same way you were getting hurt in that abusive relationship, because you don't know any better. You don't have any self-esteem. You are still broken, damaged, and battered because you don't know any better. So guess what? The first Tom, Dick, and Harry that shows you anything, you're in love. He's going to cheat on you. He's going to treat you bad because that's what you know. You're back to square one. All over again. Char, Char, Char. Char. Y'all stay tuned. It's the Char Show. You're listening to the Evening Wind Down. We're talking about domestic violence. I'm actually letting you in on my world. The number for domestic violence is 1-800-799-7233. If you know somebody who may be dealing with it, going through it. And domestic violence starts at a very young age. So don't think just because they're a teenager, they might not be going through it. I started being abused at 16. And it lasted a very long time. The signs of domestic violence is they pull away from their family. They become isolated. Look for the signs. Stay tuned. This Evening Wind Down. I'll be right back. It's your girl Char with the Evening Wind Down.
Going
All right, y'all. It is your girl, Char, the Super Chick. You're listening to the Evening Wind Down. That was my single, Put It On Me. And you guys are probably wondering, why is she playing all her music? Well, because tonight's show was dedicated to me. Now, a little bit about what we're talking about. We are talking about the domestic violence that people go through, not just women, men and women. But I'm actually talking about my story. My domestic violence started at the young age of 16. And it took from me, I didn't know who I was. And for a very long time, I didn't know who I was. And actually, I'm still learning me. Every day I find something new out about me. And it's a process. When you are a victim of domestic violence, you're always a victim of domestic violence. I'm not trapped anymore, but I'm still a victim. Because I'm learning that every day, first and foremost, I have to stay in prayer. And I'm going to touch bases on that in a minute. But secondly, every day, I find a new strength that I have. Now, I sing, I act, I model. It was a time that I did none of that. Knowing that I could, I was someone that somebody else wanted me to be. I had to wait until my children grow up anyway, because I have 4 kids by the age of 22. I want to say, I've lost track of time because, my life has been pretty hard. I was just diagnosed with lupus early last year. And so I'm a lupus warrior. And, that's a trial every day. But I'm a survivor. I'm strong. I've been through a lot. I'm not a whiner. I don't sit up and whine about things. But back to the subject at hand. Whew, Lord, where were we? I interviewed a young lady last week, and we talked about domestic violence. And she stated that she is still in touch with her abuser. Now, I don't point the finger at anybody, but I wanted to be able to tap on that as well. You cannot heal a situation until you close that chapter of that situation. My situation, it got pretty bad. My ex-husband, I don't like to label it as that, my abuser. Once we ended it, it was over. People say that you always mess around with your ex or whatever. No, it was over. There was no contact. There was no sexual contact. It was over. When you are afraid of a person and you're trying to get over a person, you do what you can do to get to safety. You do what you can do to get over that person, unless you are not really ready to be rid of that person. But in that same sense, that means that you are playing with fire. You are not putting yourself in the safety zone. If you want to rid of something, not just a person, that means that you seclude yourself from that person or thing. You do not open yourself up to let that person still have access to you. So now that I can talk without being, or feel like I'm interrupting, please free yourself of that. A person that loves you is not going to abuse you mentally, physically. When you are being abused by a person, you don't even know who you are. It's like you're a robot. Because what you do is you block who you are out and you become someone else, because you're so afraid that if you do something wrong, then you face the consequences. And after a while, it's kind of like, just let me do it right, because I don't want to either get hurt or I don't want to argue anymore. So I'm just going to be whoever they want me to be, and I'm just going to do whatever they want me to do. So in the end, you're not even you anymore. And it's like, you live like that for so long. And it's just like, who are you? With me, it was kind of like, okay, I talked perfect for so long. Now I almost purposely say things wrong. I almost purposely spell things wrong. It's kind of like, it's so weird. I can't even explain it. I take 1,000,005 selfies now. If you go to my Instagram and my Facebook, every morning I take a selfie of myself. And it's so crazy that I'm beautiful. I feel beautiful now. It was a time that I would not even look in the mirror because that person had took me from me, had drained the life out of me. I was alive, but I was dead. There was nothing left but a shell. I mean, people ask me how I got out of this situation. And I don't like to be religious because everybody's religion is different. But I prayed and I prayed and I prayed my way out of that dry place. And I still fall back sometimes because I've been in 2 failed marriages. That marriage. And then, like I said, when you have been abused and you come out of that, and if you don't give yourself time to find out who you are and take the steps to learn to love you and look for someone else to love you, you fall right back into that. You fall right back into that abuser. You fall right back into that yes ma'am or whatever you want to call it, because you have not found out how to love yourself. Once you love yourself, you will not allow anybody to abuse you. You will not allow anybody to mentally abuse you. You will know right from the beginning that this ain't right. You can step. You will know what you require as a person. You will automatically say, hey, this is what I require. And if you can't meet these requirements, then we don't even have to go any further. You have to take the time to say, this is what I require, because I love me and I will love you the same if you are going to meet my requirements. And there's nothing wrong with setting a requirement on how you deserve to be loved. I have heard people say, what gives you the right to tell somebody how to love you? You have every right in the world to tell a person how to love you, because guess what? You know how you deserve to be loved. You have to take the time to learn how you need to be loved. And if you don't love you, you will stand for anything. And you will be a victim of abuse. You will be a victim of mental abuse. When your mind is gone, you're nothing but a shell. And I was gone. My mind was gone for over 15 years. I was nothing but a shell. And at times, I still fall back into that mode of, what if? What if I never find a husband? What if I'm not good enough? Or what if I'm... But then I snap my fingers and be like, girl, you need to snap out of that. You tripping. I'm tripping.